Glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and peace, bless the hopeful elect. All right, we'll get into this real quick, maybe a few articles here. We'll grab this first one. Go ahead and start it off with this one. It says, study toxic forever chemicals are found in many cosmetics. Now, forever chemicals is something we spoke about once before in another article. All right. I believe it was going into, the polluted waterways, the water systems, and so on and so forth. All right. Forever chemicals. Okay. And so, especially for you women, all right, you women, listen up. All right. What you should have known by now, that, makeup isn't isn't very good for you. Okay, I mean, you've seen all these women walking around look like they got. Cause I used to work with this one Edomite chick way back in the day. I ain't gonna try to remember, but it was way back in the day at this restaurant, and her face has nothing but craters, like look like a moon rock or something, like craters on her face, and it came from pretty sure it came because she had a pretty messed up face in the first place. But then what the problem was is she would always every single day she's caking up makeup, on her face, to cover up, I guess what she deemed as the ugliness on her face. And only thing it did is made her face worse and worse and worse. It got to the point where she would wear the makeup and you could still see the craters on her face as if she had no makeup on, so it was pointless. All right, but makeup does, it will do that to you. All right. So let me see what it says in this article. All right, it says a study has revealed the ugly side of beauty products, as many of them contain so-called toxic forever chemicals. It says a study published in Environmental Science and Technology Letters indicated that millions of Americans could be unknowingly exposed to the toxic forever chemicals called per and polyfluoroalkyl. All right, same thing we just talked about, those substances. All right, PFAS for short. Okay, it says from cosmetics and other personal care products they apply to their bodies every day. It says the researchers tested 8 categories of cosmetics from U.S. and Canadian stores for total fluorine. It says a marker for PFAS. PFAS listed on product labels often includes fluoro in the ingredient name. More than half of 231 cosmetic products tested. Wow, more than half of 231 cosmetic products tested contain PFAS. And that's a lot. It says, and most of them did not list any PFAS compounds on their ingredient labels. You see, no different than what they do to the food, right? They'll tell you it's one thing, and it'll be another, or they'll tell you it's organic, and it's far from it. All right. And so you see they're doing the same thing in this little makeup industry here. It says, according to peer-reviewed research, and most of them did not list any PFAS compounds on their ingredient labels, according to peer-reviewed research. The study reported foundations, liquid lipsticks, and mascaras had the highest level of fluorine. Liquid lipsticks and mascaras had the highest levels of fluorine. It says the team then chose 29 products for further testing to identify specific PFAS and found all of the products had detectable levels of at least 4 different PFAS compounds. Many of these products are applied directly to the skin, the body's largest organ, from which ingredients can be absorbed directly into the bloodstream, right through your pores. Okay, and this reading this actually makes me think about I want to say it's Ezekiel chapter 3, right? Going into the women. Okay, it says PFAS are often intentional because there's a lot of women talking about that real women stuff and all this, that, and the third, and they walking around with the super eyelashes and the drawn on eyebrows and the wigs because they damn near bald and too much damn bright lipstick on, or whatever the case may be. All right. But anyways, it says PFAS are often intentionally added to personal care products like dental floss, eyeliners, eyeshadows, facial cleanser, foundation, hand and body lotion, lipstick, nail polish, shaving cream, and waterproof mascara to improve the product's consistency, durability, texture, and water resistance. And all these things are mostly used by women, the majority of these things, because there's shaving cream, for men, but this is talking. I assume it's talking specifically about women. Then you got dental floss, which is universal. What else? It said maybe body lotion could be universal. Everyone uses lotion from time to time. Uh, some people, all right, because some people don't use it, but you get my point. Yeah, but anyways, I think we're jumping down to the next. It says the new data showed most products, excuse me, most products containing PFAS did not disclose their use, and the researchers suggested the detection of the substances could be due to contamination during manufacturing. That's a lie. Leaching, and even if it is true, I mean, you're still selling it, right? During manufacturing, all right, it says leaching from storage containers or companies using the fluorinated versions of product ingredients listed by their generic names. All right, consumers may be misled by the claims of longer-lasting products without knowing that they are applying PFAS-laced cosmetics to their body, said Carla Burns, senior healthy living science analyst of the Environmental Working Group. And you know what? And more than likely, the average eye rolling neck snapper, she would read this and still go by the makeup anyways, I'm pretty sure, because they're hard-headed. All right, or they won't believe. But anyways, it says, and what is of great concern is that most of the products tested did not disclose PFAS on their ingredient labels. This testing also showed, and that shows deception as well, because if you now know that it's in there, are you going to label? Nope. You're going to continue. They probably known for a long time. All right, but anyways, they're gonna sell it. If you'll buy it, they'll sell it. All right, buyer consumer. He says, and what is of great concern is that most of the products tested did not disclose PFAS on their ingredient labels. This testing also shows some of the compounds detected in these cosmetics break down into other highly toxic PFAS. Burns added. All right. Good morning. How you doing? That's something else. So it's just going into more of that. Manufacturers can hide their specific formulas behind vague terms such as fragrance or flavor. As a result, tens of millions of consumers unknowingly rub products containing these hazardous chemicals in their skin and hair every day, noted Dr. Shruti Maha, that person, reproductive endocrinologist, director of clinical research of Massachusetts General Fertility Center. All right, yeah, that is what it is. I have to get into that more. Pretty sure you guys really don't care about you women. Maybe you need to read into it more. Maybe not. I don't know. All right. All right. It says Amazon rolling out Pay by Palm services as new payment tech at all Whole Foods market stores. All right. Amazon rolling out Pay by Palm services as new payment tech at all Whole Foods market stores. All right. We know this is leading up. What this is leading up to. All right. So no need to mention it, and none of this should be surprising by now. Shouldn't be new to you. Okay. So let's see what this article talking about. Whole Foods. Says Amazon, the tech and retail giant and the parent company of Whole Foods, announced on July 20th that it is expanding its Pay by Palm services, known as Amazon One, to all Whole Foods market stores across the U.S. It says initially launched in 2021, Amazon One will be fully operational for both payment and Prime membership benefits to more than 500 upscale grocery chain locations in the U.S. by the end of this year. Instead of conventional payment methods, customers will simply hover their palms over an Amazon One device to complete transactions. Instead of conventional payment methods, i.e. cash, credit cards, all right? They have other things like Apple Pay, or all these other services. Okay, bunch them up like a little group of bananas. Bunch them up together. Instead of conventional payment methods, customers will simply, all right. You see how they're trying to make it seem like it's so helpful to you, right? It's simple. It's gonna be better, right? Simply hover their palms over an Amazon One device to complete transactions. Now, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? I had to pause for a second. How are you going to hover your hand over something and pay for it without something being inserted into you? All right, ring a bell. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17, right? Going to the RFID microchip, which stands for radio frequency identification. All right. And you're hearing all this talks about the CBDC right now. I'm being pushed forward lately, okay? So it says the advanced palm recognition technology that creates a unique palm signature for each user launched one of its newest features, the integration with Amazon Prime. Customers who link their Prime membership to their Amazon One profile would automatically receive savings every time their palm is scanned. This is, however, a surveillance technology oversight project. It's called STOP. Yeah, that's what they need to do, STOP. However, surveillance technology oversight project, STOP, executive director Albert Fox-Khan warned customers about the dangers of using biometrics information, right? We always talk about that, right? The biometrics is that biometric data is one of the only ways that companies and governments can track us permanently. Do I need to read it again? And I'm going to light it up for you if I can. All right. This is no game. This is no joke. All right. You see what these people are doing. Biometric data is one of the only ways that companies and governments, because companies don't matter. They're just going in there for wordplay. And the government really doesn't matter, but they matter to a certain level because they take their cue from the international banking families. All right, but it says that companies and governments can track us permanently. You see, no control. All right, no say so. Okay, we talked about it once before. The freedom of speech and the redress of grievances, all right? Being able to speak out about certain things, so on and so forth, go against your government, all right? You go against the government when they're ready to roll out this plan, they are going to shut you down, all right? And some of you may actually be put to death because of it, all right? But the only ones that matter are the faithful believers, all right? And some of us may be put to death, all right, becoming martyrs, all right, because we stand on the opposite side. All right, we're not hearing nothing these people are talking about. All right, in one ear and out the other. It says biometric data is one of the only ways that companies and governments can track us permanently. You can change your name. It says you can change your social security number, but you can't change your palm print. All right, let's read it again. You can change your name. You can change your social security number, but you can't change your palm print. That kind of makes me think about, kind of indirectly, but makes me think about the movie I mentioned last, Minority Report. No, not that one. I think that was the one with Tom Cruise. The other one, Total Recall. Total Recall. I don't know the guy's name. I think he played in Phone Booth. A couple other movies. But yeah, Total Recall. Okay. Because there was this reason why I thought about it, because he had this device at one point that they fastened around his neck, and it made him it brought up a whole virtual foolable image of another person. It made him look like it wasn't his own face, like it was a whole another person's head. And when he was going through the gate, it started to malfunction, and all these different faces came up. He didn't know what was going on for a minute. But then he realized the thing was malfunctioning. They realized it was him. But it made me think about it, because this is no different. All right, yeah, you can change your face, your social security number, all those things, but you cannot change like your fingerprints. With I guess you could burn them off, or I don't know. But you get my point though. On a normal level, right, base level, you can't hide those fingerprints. Okay. And that's one of the first things they do when you get in trouble with the law, and you're not even in the system, right? Police are happy about that. You're not even in the system, because now you're finally getting fingerprinted for the first time, and now they forever know who you are, all right? So because your identity could be false, right? I mean, I've seen people give out false names to the police. So on and so forth, and they'll get away with it, all right? But you cannot hide your fingerprints, because your fingerprints will trace right back to you directly. All right, there's no getting around that. It will not trace back to another. Your fingerprint will not trace back to the next man. It's impossible. All right, it says Now, and this ain't Mission Impossible where you just think I'll go get a fake skin laid over my hand and be someone else's identity. Like, what I'm saying? You don't think movie like. All right, this is real life. Okay. Now they do have some type of thing going on in real life. Not saying that exactly because I don't know, but there's certain things in these movies that is in real life. All right, but we're thinking realistic here. So let's continue. It says biometric data is one of the only ways that companies and governments can track us permanently. Full control. All right. You can change your name. You can change, and that's treating you like cattle as well. You can change your name. You can change your social security number, but you can't change your palm print. He said, the more we normalize these tactics, the harder they will be to escape. Wow, that's a heavy word. To escape. Because that's exactly what you're going to want to do. A lot of you are going to take this microchip and bow down to the system and eventually realize you've made a mistake, and you're going to try to do just that, escape, and you're not going to be able to escape. They're going to shut you down, or they may put you to death. All right? This is a real thing here. It says, if we don't draw a line in the sand here, I am very fearful what our future will look like. Well, get ready for it, because that future is here, man. Amazon used for secretly collecting biometrics data. I'm pretty sure any platform it does that, it collects certain data. But anyways, it says in March, Amazon faced a lawsuit in New York City accusing the company of violating the city's laws by failing to inform customers that their biometric information was being collected at the NYC Amazon Go store. It says, according to the complaint filed by Stop on behalf of shopper Alfredo Rodriguez Perez, Amazon Go stores continuously collect and utilize customers' biometric identifier information, including palm scans and body measurements, to identify customers, track their movements, and determine purchases. You see, they want total control over your life. They want to know everything. They want to be like the Most High. They have this God complex. All right, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. There's another one, Isaiah 14. It says, Amazon Go store, known for its just to walk out technology, allows customers to enter the store by scanning the app, picking the items they desire, and leaving without going through traditional checkouts. So this is like a pay in cart type deal, like we seen once before. Picking up your items, scanning it in the little system, fastened, attached to the cart, and then just cashing it on in at the end. I'm just guessing that is similar. It says picking the items they desire and leaving without going through traditional checkouts. Biometric data collection, such as scanning palms and tracking customers' movements, is integral to this technology. Or you could just pick it up once you scan the item, since you're already connected, by way of your print, right? I guess it just automatically deducts from your account. So it makes me beg the question. So what if you end up having a negative balance? So my guess is they'll probably let you get away with it, because next time you get paid, they'll have the means, and authority to just take that money out. All right. And you can't do anything about it because you have no control over your funds. All right. It's all digital. All right. They run everything by a bunch of numbers on a computer screen. So it says, however, in 2021, New York City implemented a law requiring all commercial establishments that collect, store, and retain biometric identifier information to clearly inform consumers through conspicuous signs at all entrances. The law covers identifiers like fingerprints, handprints, body shapes, retina scans, and facial recognition. All right, covering the whole nine. It says the lawsuit alleged that of Amazon neglected to post any of the required signs until a New York Times story highlighted their biometric data collection practices more than a year after the law's enactment. Furthermore, the signs that were later displayed were claimed to be non-compliant, it says, with the city's laws in terms of their wording, appearance, and placement. Amazon argued that the information it collects does not fall under the category of biometric data, and asserts that only customers who opt for the Amazon One identification system have their palm print data collected. They maintain that such customers are appropriately provided with privacy disclosures during enrollment. Rodriguez Perez, the plaintiff, had previously notified Amazon about the improper signage in February, but his concerns went unanswered. So they basically duped him. I guess that's what I'm reading here. They got him, and he couldn't get out of it. All right, but anyways, that might have been it. Is this it? Yeah, let's see if we can grab this video because I believe that's it for the article. Yep. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get a little video here. That's 10 minutes.
You're also live. If you want to do a quick video on Amazon, Whole Foods rolling out the Mark of the Beast technology. You hear it here, thehill.com. Amazon company rolling out pay with palm technology. So put your hand on the scanner and you're going to be now able to pay at Whole Foods. Look at this. Amazon announced Thursday it's rolling out its Pay by Palm services. Now, I wouldn't think much about this unless I have read something in the Bible about this. 2,000 years ago, the Apostle John, in the book of Revelation, stated that just before Jesus Christ returns, this technology would be rolled out. And then, during the Great Tribulation, the Mark of the Beast Payment Center would be implemented that you can't buy or sell unless you use your palm of your hand or your forehead. Look at this. Amazon announced it's rolling out its Pay by Palm services in the Whole Foods market stores across the country, making it possible for customers to use their palm, your hand, for purchases without.
I want to pause it real quick because something just came to mind, and I mentioned this the other day, right? Because I actually talked about this one particular thing multiple times, right? One of the greatest tactics in war, excuse me, one of the greatest tactics in war is the control of sustenance, right? Because you have to have your troops fed, all right? The local people will go hungry if necessary to feed the troops, right? Because if the troops don't have the energy to fight, how can they win? And if they don't win, there's no people to protect. There's no wives at home, children at home, elderly, babies or whatever to protect. There's no kingdom to protect because they are most definitely going to lose. Okay. So to close out my thought, and I've mentioned this once before, even recently, one of the major things that they're going to use against you is what? The food and your financial status, right? They're going to use food and money against you, all right? If you want your funds, you must get it through the CBDC. And the only way for you to access the CBDC is to take the RFID microchip. And then they're also going to hit you from another side with another hammer. If you want food, okay, we got food. All right. But in order for you to get the food, you're going to have to comply with the way that we want to sell it to you, which is by way of our system, which causes you to what? They put the pressure on you to want to take the RFID microchip. And there are going to be a lot of people who are going to fold under the pressure. I've been saying this for a long time. They're going to fold under the pressure because this is what they're going to do to you, put pressure on you. They have the ability to do this, to put that pressure on you. And they are going to put that pressure on you in order to get you, basically force is the word, to force you to take the RFID microchip. Revelation chapter, what is it, 3 verse, no, is it 3 verse 10? Yeah, I believe it's 3 verse 10, all right? From the hour of temptation, keep you from the hour of temptation, all right? And that's the faithful believers. Not everyone. The Lord's not just going to step in for everybody, all right? He's not going to step in for the ninja around the corner, all right? No. He's going to see who the ones who have stood, boldly for his name, and who are continuously keeping their faith through all these, trying times. And he's talking about great tribulation. Yeah, that's a so-called church or Christian, pretty much terminology. There's going to be some tribulation, but they say, oh, it's going to be a great tribulation. We're going to get raptured up, and then everyone else is going to be down here and screwed over, and then there's going to be another rapture, and all this craziness, right? No. Through much tribulation, must you enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right. So let's play this back. Let's see. I think it paused on me. Because I really want to hear exactly what he was saying. It's almost 10 minutes here. If you can't get it to play, we'll just move on. You definitely have to look at it for yourself. Try to take it back. Yeah. not gonna hang on this too long. So if we can't get it to play, we just move on. Cause I'm gonna definitely sit down and hear exactly what else he's talking about. That's crazy. Look, it doesn't even want to play at all now. I don't know if you can see it. Look at the top of my screen. My signal is up. Let me see if I can refresh this real quick. I'm gonna try that. Let me refresh this. So it doesn't even want to pop up on the screen. All right, here we go.
There are also, if you want to do a quick video on Amazon, Whole Foods rolling out the Mark of the Beast technology. You hear it here, thehill.com. Amazon company rolling out pay with palm technology. So put your hand on the scanner and you're going to be now able to pay at Whole Foods. Look at this. Amazon announced Thursday it's rolling out its Pay by Palm services. Now, I wouldn't think much about this unless I have read something in the Bible about this. 2,000 years ago, the Apostle John, in the book of Revelation, stated that just before Jesus Christ returns, this technology would be rolled out. And then, during the Great Tribulation, the Mark of the Beast Payment Center would be implemented that you can't buy or sell unless you use your palm of your hand or your forehead. Look at this. Amazon announced it's rolling out its Pay by Palm services in the Whole Foods market stores across the country, making it possible for customers to use their palm, your hand, for purchases without a wallet or a phone. Well, there, who cares? You're already using technology where you use your thumbprint, your eye scan, and so forth. Yeah, but that's a preliminary biometric system. This is actually using what the Bible says, your right hand, right? And soon probably your forehead. Yeah, so this is, I use my thumbprint to open up apps. Yeah, that's getting people used to it. Listen, the technology is not the evil part. It's the evil part behind the technology. The evil people behind the technology, Bob, yeah. The Palm Recognition Service. Listen to this. The Palm Recognition Service called Amazon One. It's creepy. Amazon One, like One World Order. I've said this many times before when I do my videos. I predict that all these Amazon vans, they can come to your house. They have radar. They have location tracking. They know how many steps it is to your front door. You can't tell me that these Amazon trucks and vans and technology is not going to be used to implement the Mark of the Beast system. The Bible says you can't buy or sell on Amazon unless you have this technology in the near future, yeah. But it's going to be morphed into a one world government, one world religion, satanic technology service. We're just about there. The thing I like about reading this now and doing this video is Jesus Christ is about to return. This is a sign and a wonder. It's a time marker, how close we are to the return of Jesus Christ the Messiah. The rapture is about to happen. The rapture is when Jesus secretly appears in the sky to all the born-again, spirit-filled people on the earth. And we are taken off the earth, spirit, soul, and body, to a heavenly banquet. The Bible is clear on that. I've done many videos on that, which will trigger the disappearance of all these millions, probably billions of Christians on the earth. It will trigger the Great Tribulation, yeah. And then it'll culminate in the Battle of Armageddon. The Palm Recognition Service, called Amazon One, that's just creepy, will be available for payment and Prime membership benefits in all Whole Foods market locations by the end of this year. Oh, nothing to see there. Look how close we are. I always knew 2023 and 2024 are very significant in Bible prophecy. Instead of traditional payment methods, Amazon One allows customers to hover their palm over an Amazon One device. Customers who link their Prime membership with their Amazon One profile will automatically receive savings. Oh yeah, come on. Once their palm is registered, according to Seattle-based retail giant, this goes into effect, launched in 2021. Amazon said the technology uses the information embedded in your palm to create a unique palm signature that it can reach each and every time you use it. So this technology was used at specific locations. I've never seen it yet. And I'm here in Southern California, but
I keep pausing it because I don't know if it's gonna play back, but because I don't want to, it slipped my mind because he's talking about a great tribulation. All right, no, that's out the window. It's gonna be a Jacob's trouble. All right, it's not gonna be what your churches are talking about. And two, it's not about you Christians, all right, or any church for that matter, Catholic or whatever, Baptist. It's not about these churches, all right. The Lord's not in these churches, all right. Who's really gonna be sought out are the faithful believers, the ones that are standing boldly for the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, all right, who will stand up for me against the evildoers, all right. You have faithful men out there risking their lives, teaching week in, week out, all right, in the midst of the public eye, okay. And another thing, because he's hinging on too much of Amazon One. Amazon, it's not special. It's nothing but another segue, okay? It is bigger than Amazon. It's way, way bigger than Amazon One. This is just another way to trap you and funnel you into the trap, all right? So let's continue. If it'll play. If not, we'll shut it down because
it's being rolled out this year. Hello. Well, if you've seen my videos, you understand that the Antichrist is in power. The false prophet is in power. Revelation 13, which talks about this technology here, Amazon One, talks about two people in Revelation 13 and this technology. It talks about Barack Obama and Pope Francis, the Antichrist and the false prophet.
What the hell is he talking about?
Technology experts have expressed concerns in the past over Amazon.
See, this is why Esau just need to shut the hell up. Stick to information. Information-wise, they can bring some things out. When it comes to the Bible, you do not listen to them, man. This Nick, he just said, Barack Obama and who else? I forgot what he said. Like, what is this man talking? What is it? What hints at Barack Obama or the other character he just named in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, 17? What, you know what I'm saying? These people. Anyways.
Amazon's collection of such data. Amazon said customers' information is not stored on Amazon One device and is protected at all times, both at rest and in transit, blah, blah, blah. Adding it treats palm signatures like other highly sensitive personal data. Whole Foods is among 400 locations using Amazon One technology now. Others include Panera Bread, Coors Field in Colorado, airport travel retailers, and sports and entertainment venues. Amazon purchased the Whole Foods in for a whopping $13.7 billion deal. Remember that in 2017? Yeah.
That's how they got.
Now, I'm going to read here just before I sign off from Revelation 13. Like I said, if you're reading Revelation 13 in the Bible, last book of the Bible, chapter 13, Revelation 13, it talks about two people primarily. Chapter 13 verses 1, you can go all the way to verse 10. That talks about Barack Obama primarily, and then from
cut him off because he's full of shit now. Excuse my language. I just can't listen to him talk about that. No damn Barack Obama. Yeah, if you want to watch the rest of that video, you can watch it for yourself. I'm going to end it right here. I'll give you that title again. It says Amazon rolling out Pay by Palm services as new payment tech at all Whole Foods market stores. All right. If we have another article, we'll bring it up. If not, we'll end it here. Give me a second here. All right, it says the rise of totalitarianism. Banks denying services based on political views. Banks denying services based on political views. All right, I'm going to try to hit this real quick, try to keep this short as possible. It says when the Berlin Wall fell, I'm really not about to read all into all that. Let's try to get the juicy parts if there's any. Cause I really just want to skim through this. There's a lot of reading here. It's probably not anything to do with this article. Trying to find where it actually goes into this actual topic. Clamping down on disinformation. There are 40 pages of this stuff, which blah blah blah. All right, so yeah, I'm definitely not going to read all this because they're just it's a whole lot of run around in here. And I'm not trying to read all of this. Most definitely read it for yourself. There's one more article I wanted to grab. We'll probably shut it down after that. What is this? History doesn't repeat itself, at least not in precisely the same way. The new totalitarianism doesn't resort to thugs in the street, and the midnight knock on the door is somewhat more subtle than that, but nonetheless ruthless and dangerous for all its subtlety. Um, what is all this about, though? Since I failed to take into account what should have known. Great is as that for freedom, power, forever locked into a kind. Not talking about nothing. I mean, I guess it's, let me see, I saw something about Donald Trump. Mr. Farage has been friendly with Donald Trump and has been opposed both to the excesses of transgender ideology and to the pursuit of zero emissions. But he has done nothing illegal that so far has been revealed, and the banks admits that in his dealings with it. Mr. Farage has always been polite and correct. He's talking about nothing. Bunch of nothing, man. So, I mean, you want to know more about this, you have to read it to yourself. I'm just going to give you the title, The Rise of Totalitarianism, Banks Denying Services Based on Political Views, all right? Left ring, right ring, still two wings of the same bird, which is the government headed by the international banking families. Let me see, we'll jump back here. I'm going to grab, just keep it rolling. It says Biden creates new permanent office of pandemic preparedness and response policy, laying foundation for second round of medical martial law. All right. Will Americans be duped again into complying with high pressure masking, group thinking, forced lockdowns, and repeated mRNA whoa, almost whatever, man. They flag me. They flag me. All right. Anyways, I mean, it's sad that you can't just, you freedom of speech, but you can't freely speak. Anyways, it says last week on Friday, July, it shows you that you really don't have any rights. But anyways, it says last week on Friday, July 21st, the Biden administration quietly announced the creation of a new permanent office within the White House called the Office of Pandemic Preparedness and Response Policy, or OPPR. Joe Biden has named the military man, retired Air Force Major General Paul Friedrichs, to head up the new office. Why now? I thought CVID was over. Biden said months ago CVID was over, totally conquered. The only folks I know who are still getting CVID are the ones who got multiple mRNA CVID pokes, causing their immune-compromised bodies to continue to manufacture the toxin spike proteins, which then make them sick. But we also continue to hear weekly of young, healthy people who are dying suddenly with no warning, right? Because a lot of these people aren't as healthy as you think. Other people who actually weren't healthy, and then the slime juice, the great sticky icky, made you even weaker, and it killed people off, and it's killing even healthy people also. So I mean, what kind of dealings are they do they have here? All right, that's killing healthy people, which is nothing new, not like we haven't heard before, but healthy people dropping dead, right? And even the scriptures talk about bodily exercise profited, it profited, but it profited little. But anyways, let's see here. It says, by creating this new office and emphasizing that it will be permanent, this is a red flag that should have our keen attention. It is the government still drunk with new powers gained from the last pandemic, telegraphing to us plebiscites that another pandemic is right around the corner. And they would know, right? They're the ones issuing it. It says the significance of this step by Biden last Friday cannot be fully and properly contextualized without going into a little history dating back to 2019 and 2020. We could go even further back to show us how U.S. laws were changed in preparation for a massively hyped pandemic. But for the sake of space, I will only go back a few years. While the media and the entire globalist establishment did their best to hide it, the United States in the spring of 2020 went into a form of medical martial law. All right, now that's a term we've heard before, right? It says in May 15, 2020, news release from the Department of Defense, the Trump administration announced the appointment of General Gustave F. Perna as Chief Operating Officer of Operation Warp Speed. Yeah, Trump was heavy on that, right? It says the administration's national program to accelerate the development, manufacturing, and distribution of C19 Vicky's therapeutics and diagnostics medical countermeasures. Below is Trump at the White House podium with General Perna as he announced the launch of Operation Warp Speed. All right. It says President Donald Trump is mobilizing the U.S. military to distribute a novel CV. Not much we can say there. When one becomes available and will focus first on older Americans. Yeah, I remember that. All right. And that shows you, the elderly who need more physical help and attention. I guess they're seeing them as a burden. All right. They want to get rid of the elderly. Okay. And they have this depopulation agenda as well. So to attack the elderly makes much sense. Okay, it says, and he said he believes there will be a Vicky by the end of the year, and the United States is mobilizing our military and other forces on that. That's something. And once again, remember that we're reading back on account. It's not like fresh, okay? Because he said he was going back 3 years, which we're probably not going to read all of it ourselves. Because it's just going back on what it talked about. Let's read this right here. It says, the war was about to be waged against the American people. The weapons of war in this case would be a fierce propaganda campaign to prepare the battlefield, followed by a massive effort to inject a bioweapon directly into the bodies of every man, woman, and child down to 6 months of age. Okay, and how did it come by? The C19. All right, the slime juice. Okay. They tricked everyone into getting, all right, because people were stupid and they kept looking to their government for answers, all right? They kept going down to each for help, all right? Trusting your government, trusting in America, and it has gotten you where, all right? A lot of people have gotten major bodily harms. Others, it has gotten them a toe tag and a metal slab, all right? The establishment waged this war for 2 years. Get a shot, get another shot, and another. Yeah, they sure did. All right. Under what's that clown? Fauci says they paid you to get it. They threatened you with the loss of jobs, loss of rights, and haven't the men of the Lord been telling you that? All right. These things, what they were doing. Never trust thine enemy. All right. For as iron rusted, so does his wickedness. I want to say that's Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10, if I'm correct, in the Apocrypha. All right. They paid you to get it. They threatened you with loss of job, loss of rights to travel and assemble, loss of health care, and loss of various benefits if you didn't get it. When has that ever happened before? And I remember them talking about all these things. Okay, so just bringing it back to your attention through this article. On September 1st, 2022, Biden delivered his infamous red speech in which he threatened Americans to oppose his policies on CV and other issues while flanked by 2 U.S. Marines. The symbolic message was unmistakable. Right? And you're going to get it, or we're going to get you. Pretty much. Let's see what else is down here. And Biden is getting ready for it by creating this new OPPR. Let's read back a little bit. It says, the leash of tyranny has been loosened over the last 10 to 12 months. Travel has returned to normal. Most of the mandates have been dropped, but all the unconstitutional laws, logistical practices, and the executive orders remain in place and at the ready to once again ramp up the heat on Americans to comply with whatever new normal the globalists desire to impose next, and which is going to be the digital lifestyle. That's going to be the new normal they're going to impose next, part of their agenda. They keep calling it Agenda 2030, but these things are going to happen way before 2030. That's just the numbers they want to give you. But the Lord is in control, and look at how warp speed the Lord is moving, right? So we're talking about Operation Warp Speed. The Lord is moving at warp speed. Right? Look at all these prophecies, being unfolded right before your eyes. Okay. It says, before we get into Biden's latest government creation, we have to finish the story of what has led up to this point, which we're not going to read into. You can read into that yourself. I want to get through this article for time's sake. These two men, Trump and Biden, are more alike than many of us are willing to admit. Yeah, because they work for the same government, which work for the same people, the international banking families. Doesn't matter what direction you take by way of Republican or Democrat, you still have to get to the same ultimate goal and agenda, which is headed by the body. All right, one is the left wing, one is the right wing. All right, Republican, Democrat, or Democrat, Republican, however you want to do it. But the body is the international banking families. All right, and you know they take their control they take their orders from them. Okay, so regardless of which party takes the high road, the high seat. Okay, regardless which party, Democrat or Republican, has their person as a president, it was planned to be that way, and they're still going to take orders from the international banking families because it's all about their ultimate goal and agenda, not America, because America is it's owned by them. Okay, and your president is set up as a puppet to further confuse you Americans, keep you stupid and blind and deaf and dumb, keep you in the dark, pretty much. All right. Trying to see where was I? Okay, it says these two men, Trump and Biden, are more alike than many of us are willing to admit because when the chips are down, neither one was a true leader. They simply did what the same group of unelected experts told them to do. Right, and where do you think these people like Fauci get their orders from as well? All right, it's coming from down that food chain, and they are most definitely not at the top of it. All right, your president is not at the top of that food chain. Let's jump down here. After initially criticizing what Trump had done in terms of Operation Warp Speed, Joe Biden, once he took office, continued the Trump policy of militarizing and pressurizing the Vicky rollout. Almost no Americans could honestly say they did not feel at least some pressure to submit to the shots. If you didn't, then you live in a cocoon. Right, and that's one of the pressures they put on you. Also, one of the first things I remember Uncle Rick Biden attacking is the guns. All right, trying to take everyone's assault rifles from them. Okay, just the other day, I was watching a clip. I think it was yesterday. Watching a clip where he said right in the clip where he said that you couldn't own guns, and in the very same sentence, right? He also said that I never said that you couldn't own guns. Well, hold on, man. You sit this delusional ass man down. He just told you right to your face you couldn't have no guns. Then he told you that you could have guns in the same sentence. This man's delusional, man. But ultimately, he's not as delusional as we think. He's just a effing liar, man. And he's set up to play his part as the fool that he is. Okay, he's nothing more than a puppet, and they got him. They got a good puppet with him. They got a very good puppet with him. All right, because they can make. They're just manipulating people, man. But the government lies to you anyways. Come on, man. That's just the truth. We'll grab one more. I saw this up here because the Vicky was presented under medical countermeasures and placed under the military. All national and international laws protecting the civilian population from harmful experimental medical treatments were waived. Okay, I thought it was something else there. It says only under a situation of medical martial law could all of the laws and procedures meant to protect people be waived as they were in 2021 onward. Yeah, we're not going to keep reading to this. You can read more into this yourself because I'm tired of reading this. Just a bunch of history on deception. Pretty much what it is. It says Biden creates new permanent office of pandemic preparedness and response policy, laying foundation for second round of medical martial law. Right, tying hand in hand with everything else they've been doing. Talking about freedom of speech, especially free thinkers. What was the one? Medical misinformation. Right, medical misinformation, disinformation, and so on and so forth. Everything is going according to plan, man. Don't ever think these people are too shaken up, man. They got everything according to plan. All right, everything's going to be rolled out smoothly because it's the Lord who's allowing it. 2 Thessalonians 2, I believe it's 2:9. All right, only he now will let it until he be taken out of the way. And that's just pretty much the Lord allowing them to do these things in this earth. All right, and at a certain point, the Lord's going to come and take them on down and finish them out. And we're waiting for that day, but we wait patiently. So we'll leave it at that. Lord willing, you edify to next time. That's Shalom.